Hi everyone, it's Killshot 99 Gaming. This is The Walking Dead Season 10, Episode 5. We got some tragic spoiler news. We're going to do our extended spoiler. If you guys were here on Thursday night, spoilers came out a little bit early, so I know many of you were in the stream. The neat thing about the spoilers coming out early is it does give us a chance to touch base and compare our predictions. But then when you watch the show, you find out there's a lot of stuff on the show that was not included in the spoiler. So if you think this is just going to be a rehashing and a recap, it is not. There's a little bit more information. Before we get into that, I do want to give a super special shout out to our Patreon army. Thank you so much to the Patreon group. And also, many of you were here last night for Freestyle Friday and Play Dead Live. One of my favorite Play Dead Lives is a nice continuation. And I do have to give a special shout out. You guys can see the Play Dead Live sponsors in the top right-hand corner. They give an extended amount, a little bit more than most, and bring that Play Dead Live to you every Friday night. So our two newest members are Jennifer Panville and Julia Muse. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. It's 15 sponsors that we have at that tier and a ton of Patreon sponsors. So absolutely humbled and thank you guys each and every month for everything that you guys do to make this channel happen. Thank you again. All right, we're going to jump into this week's episode, and I got to tell you, it had some good Negan, some classic Negan, some good Alpha, just a lot of stories out there. But you know what? Let's just take it right from the top. Let's take it from the opening minutes when it went down. We're seeing a little bit of that Kelly story, right? She's phasing in, she's phasing out. I will jump around a little bit because I'm on Red Bull Orange Edition, so I'm a little hyped up this morning. But stick with me. I promise you, we'll go complete circle and we'll get it all back and it will all make sense. But the Kelly story, it was good, but we found out that she hasn't told anybody yet except for Connie. So that does add a little bit more to it. And Beth Burgett, I didn't miss your comment early. I absolutely love it. This is one of my favorite comments ever starting out a stream. Beth Burgett said, "I feel like it's Christmas morning." that might have been the nicest compliment I think that I've ever gotten on the beginning of a stream. I was like, I'm compared to Christmas. This is great. We got Walking Dead. We got everybody getting together. We got spoilers, recaps, everything. So thanks. But we get to see, this was a nice, I think, foreshadowing. We get to see Kelly with the slingshot, kills the boar, and then what happens to the boar? It gets eaten again. So we've seen Carol lose food. We've seen Kelly lose food. And I'm pretty sure that is, now that the border is getting closer and closer and less hunting territory, the writers wanted to send a message of food is going to be hard to come by. And you also know that there's a lot of stashing and a lot of selfishness going on. So look at all these psychological, I wouldn't say that's a psychological necessarily a problem, but it is a reality that you've got people scared of losing food. I guess fear of missing out could be a psychological problem, right? Paranoia, PTSD, so many things going on, and now the group is just sort of split up and hoarding different groups. Also, Miko, I love the fact that Miko was referred to by that kind of pet name later on by Magna, but Miko is taking charge. She's getting a little bit of, remember when Tara was in that role? We got Eugene. He said, "I'll be happy to recapitulate." We also got Alden is asking for advice, talking about, different plumbing issues and things they got going on. Earl's asking, we just going to sit here, we're going to do something. Everyone is treating Yumi like the leader. What do you guys think? Did you guys kind of feel that vibe that now somebody is stepping up to the hilltop until Maggie gets back? I mean, look, Ezekiel was supposed to be in that role. He can't do it. So I kind of is Ezekiel to Yumiko what Jesus was to Tara? What do you guys think? In an indirect way. Remember, we had Tara kind of doing all these decisions and Jesus was out doing his own thing. Now we've got Yumi making decisions and Ezekiel dealing with his health and a few other issues. Just kind of want to throw that out there as a reference. If you guys missed PDL last night, Play Dead Live, we got to see another leader. We got to see Emmy. Emmy is the 999's army. 999 army? What did I just say? Emi is our Yumiko. There you go. Sorry, I was trying to get that analogy done. Yumi tells Magna someone stole fish. Magna ain't hearing it, literally and figuratively. Magna just wants to listen to the music. Just block everything out. Just trying to deal, right? Okay, then we get Ezekiel, Daryl, and Sadiq. Great setup scene here. This was one of my favorite. Ezekiel asks, any sign of them? Starts to do his coughing, so we know something's going down. Daryl, kind of blunt. Hey, you gonna ask about Carol? Nah. Just blows it off like, nah. And Daryl seemed a little confused, right? I mean, Daryl was, why not? Daryl at this point, I think, the Daryl-Carol friendship is really, really bizarre. Daryl knows there's feelings with Ezekiel and Carol. He certainly has helped out. Daryl is starting to develop his own feelings for Connie, but it's complicated, right? I need a little bit more understanding of this friendship. And I know it's been there for a long time, but I still think, this is not spoiler news, this is just me, thinking, that Carol is waiting for Ezekiel to do something heroic. That there's just a lot of stuff that's going to box Ezekiel in, so to speak. Like we're physically getting boxed in. I think the health is definitely going to be a spark for Ezekiel, but he's just not getting it. When he said to Michonne, I don't even know how to talk to her, and then we saw he literally can't talk to her. Trust me when I tell you this, the Henry story is going to be a big story. Ezekiel is going to do something a little bit silly later on. Well, not silly. He's going to do what he has to do, I think. All right. Connie does, write down Kelly. We find out that Kelly's missing. And then we get a roller coaster ride. We'll do this tomorrow night in the reaction video because most of you have either seen the show, read the spoilers, or... Well, let me ask. How many people are in this chat right now that have not seen the episode or heard the spoilers? Either one. Like you're completely blank. You just wanted to jump in a stream, hang out with us, and you're learning as we go. Just curious. I think most have seen one or the other. Okay, Mary, Beth, no worries. And Neil Chapman, Valerie, I'm going to give you kind of the best overview as I possibly can. All right, well, wow. Okay, wow. We got a lot of people that haven't seen it. So this is good because this is going to be a little bit extended from the Thursday night's episode. And if you'd like, watch the Thursday night episode too, and you can compare the two, the spoilers versus what we actually saw. I got to tell you guys, my favorite part of the episode was the Negan Brandon. And I know from a spoiler perspective, we read it. On the spoiler forums, it was along the lines of, hey, Brandon's just creepy, Brandon's just weird. I liked Brandon. Let me clarify that. I wouldn't like somebody like Brandon if I met him. I really liked the way the actor played the character Brandon. I thought it was phenomenal. I thought he was just pandering and there's some history there, and he said some things that really, really made sense to Negan. And you think that Negan is just pushing his buttons, but Brandon is actually, in his obsessiveness with Negan, he's getting him riled up. And that dialogue is established right from the beginning. Brandon, he's whistling. He's asked Negan as they're walking, how did you get out? Negan doesn't know. Now, it's not to say that Brandon didn't let him out. I don't think he did. And it could be a story that just gets buried, like maybe Brandon freed him. I don't think so. I really think it's an Aaron or a Carol or someone else let Negan out just to see what he would do. maybe to follow him. There could be a master plan. But let's say there's a 1% chance that Brandon did let him out and he was playing stupid. I don't believe that, but we didn't get closure to that story. But Brandon really wants a reboot of the Savior storyline. So he's like, what are we doing? Are we searching for a new sanctuary? And he's just telling him all these things. And then he hits a couple really, really good points. And this is the transition of Negan to Brandon. Brandon says, well, let's build a new sanctuary. How badass would that be? You built that place, and Rick Grimes comes along, what a hypocrite, and kills our parents. And he basically calls Rick Grimes a hypocrite. And for the one moment, Negan says, I can't argue that. It ain't bullshit. So Negan, of all the things he's disagreeing with Brandon on, he does stop and pause and says, wait a minute. You got a point. Rick was a hypocrite. So it's not that we're seeing old Negan, but we're seeing that his ideals are all about, some of the things that he did. So Brandon says, look, you can take anything. You can take anyone's shit. You can burn their faces, bash their heads in. And that's when Negan has to clarify the difference. He says, that was punishment. And then he crosses the line. Crosses the line. Those of you that watch it, you'll know what I'm talking about. This is where there is a deep, deep psychological story of Negan. And this is what I want you guys to understand. This is not just a spoiler. The roots of Negan's legend are a big, big problem from now until forever. J&G, we're actually going to hide that comment, and we're going to block you. Because in today's day and age, we just don't come into streams and spout out racist rhetoric. Just not cool. Not cool at all. Not the type of fans and not the type of viewers that we want in our streams. All right, so let me get back to the Negan point. Even though Negan has changed, the legend and the rumors cannot be undone. There's only one thing that can undo that, and that's if people are telling better Negan stories later on. And they're not. Because this is what Brandon heard. This is big. I heard that you cut Rick's kid's hand off and you shot Carl Grimes. It's complete lies. But this is the rumors that people, remember, Carl's death is 7 years earlier? So this is the stories that are being passed down. Like, oh, Negan, the guy that was locked up, yeah, I heard he shot Rick's son. I heard he did this. I heard he did this. So Negan's never had a chance to kind of make that tour, and nobody's went up behind like Aaron and Darryl haven't went up when the rumors started saying, no, he didn't do that. He didn't do that. Nobody's defending him. So Negan actually says, I never did that. I would never kill a kid. Not only did he show his feelings for Carl, he also showed what he stands for. So we do find out Brandon was somebody that was lost in that whole Savior fray. I mean, Brandon was trying a bad whistle in the beginning. I don't know what he was whistling, but boy, he got his whistle down later on. Really good story with Brandon and Negan. So Brandon says to Negan, we're both Negan. Negan gets in a fight with the walker. Brandon turns his back on him. Negan kills the walker, says, thanks for your help. Brandon says, sorry, I was just wrapping your gift. And he gives him a bat wrapped in barbed wire and his jacket. And says, you like it, right? Oh, boy. Whew. All right. Then we get, that's a major story, and then we might get the biggest story of the entire season at this point. You guys that have not watched it, you're probably like, what? What could top that? This storyline might be the biggest, darkest thing that's going to happen because it is spy versus spy stuff. Aaron practicing at the bridge and sees Gamma cutting up guardians, also known as walkers, and putting their guts into the water. Now, there's a couple stories that are going to happen with this. One, she's trying to block the water to slow it down. Number two, she's putting the guts in the water, which is contaminating the water. And number three, she panics and cuts herself. Cuts herself, loses her knife. Aaron's watching her. And Aaron actually throws her a bandage. I want to get your thoughts on that. She was angry when she cuts herself. She does have some flashbacks later on. I'm going to dig into that story. I want you guys to kind of think about all three of those elements right now. We're going to develop that a little bit more. Aaron's watching Gamma. Gamma cuts herself. Aaron helps Gamma. Ask her name. You know, he's trying to create a little bit of dialogue. Like, my name's Aaron. I'm from Vermont. Where are you from? She leaves. Plays into Alpha's master plan. More on that shortly. Go back to the Negan scene. Negan hears some screaming, goes to the bus, kills the first walker, his knife breaks, get on the bus. There's a woman and her son, Milo. Negan helps him. I mean, and not only does he help him, probably one of the best walker scenes that you'll see, crushing the walker's head in the door over. And then Brandon says, damn, classic Negan. Like, probably Brandon is saying what many fans of Negan at home are thinking, exactly like that. So we get to leave that for a moment. Then we get probably interesting story, but not quite as interesting as the Negan story and the Gamma. The third story is really the Daryl and Connie situation. Daryl's basically telling Connie, not your fault. Connie's clearly upset. Daryl tells a really, really good story. I thought this story was strong. There were probably three really good stories, three future stories, and three kind of tearjerkers. This one might have been not quite the tearjerker, but Daryl starts relating to Connie, telling her the story about Merle fishing, and you know, you're getting this trip down memory lane, and he's given bits and pieces, he's acting some of it out. I thought it was very well done. But at the end of it, Daryl saves Merle, and Merle's upset because he left his beer behind. Really, really strong. Daryl does hear something, which I also think is a little bit of a contrast to Kelly's situation. Like, Kelly is out there, she can't hear anything. Daryl hears a pin drop, turns around, and is about to shoot Magna. Magna's out there helping him out. Go back to Hilltop. Really, really good backstory scene here. Yumi says, I should be out there. Earl and Alden. Really, really good backstory with Earl. So it's neat because Daryl tells Connie the story about Merle. Earl tells Alden the story about Vietnam. So Earl's, they're talking about the tree. Alden, haven't forgotten about them. This is something I want you guys to pay attention for the future. Earl apparently in January 1968 reported something, and his commander basically buried the information and said, stop talking about it or it'd be insubordination. The next day, Earl's platoon lost 155 people in Vietnam. And Earl says, never again, Earl is ready. So wasn't a real long story, but what do you guys think about that? What do you guys think about with Earl? Earl's got some big things, maybe some new weapons or something along those lines. Get your thoughts and comments in this video, please, everybody. All right, back to Zeke and Sadiq. I like it because it rhymes. So we finally get the story of what's going on with Zeke, he's coughing. This is funny because in one of our streams, some people had spoiler information. Some people were very good at guessing. So if you guys remember, I did a stream a couple nights ago, and it was confusing because the hard thing when spoilers come out early is those people that are really good at guessing, and that was several of you, we all kind of get lumped in, right? Because there were a couple people that even on the video, they posted line by line what happened. And we kind of knew some information was gradually making its ways and getting out there. I did not have the information at the time, and I actually said something, and they said the exact opposite. And I thought it was funny when I read it. Because I know a couple people on our stream the other night said, well, maybe Ezekiel has cancer because he's coughing and there's a lump. And my exact words were, oh, come on now. There's no way that he got cancer from a little bit of smoke inhalation, which he didn't get cancer from smoke inhalation. But as Sadiq said, maybe the smoke inhalation from the fire triggered it. So I guess I couldn't have been more wrong. And there you go. Not always right. But yes, the smoke inhalation apparently did trigger it because within the last month, Ezekiel said that it's grown. His grandma and his father, they both fought it and won. But he makes the reference. He says, look, back then, it was 98% curable. There was iodine treatment. There was chemotherapy. Now, you're pretty much, he's the walking dead. Would you agree? Tough situation. I thought that Sadiq brought up a very, very interesting point. Literally. Acupuncture, point, get it? Dun, 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 kills coin for me. He did suggest that there are some things that you can do. And he said acupuncture, and then he said hypnosis. Did you guys catch that? And then afterwards, he says, I've been struggling ever since the barn. I had to leave Alexandria. I feel like next week or the week after, Sadiq is going to go under. Dante is going to try to hypnotize Sadiq, is my bold prediction. Not a spoiler yet. And then we're going to get the true, unfiltered, exact story of what happened when Sadiq goes under. He's getting bits and pieces. I think this is a big, big story. And maybe, hey, all bets are on the table. Did Sadiq kill Henry? Was Sadiq forced to kill someone? Did he block it out? Is he going to tell Rosita? Is that going to be the crying baby scene? We got a lot of good stuff to talk about next week. I want you guys to be here because once we get through this reaction tomorrow night, double shots every single night, everybody. We're going to have a lot of fun with these potential stories. There's a lot of stuff in play, but I think the hypnosis is something that is going to be a big, big story going forward, and then we're going to get the truth of exactly what happened. And I'm looking forward to it because, hey, if I'm wrong that Alpha forced Sadiq to kill someone, then no problems. I've been wrong before, but I really want to see it. I want to see how it goes because Sadiq's living with himself right now. Maybe when he finds out the truth that he's hidden from himself, he might not be able to live with himself. Big story there as well. All right, let's get back to Negan and Brandon. We get back to that scene. We got the mom and son, Milo and me. Really, really good. Brandon wants to kill him. It's like the mom's like, look, we got to keep moving. They walk out of the bus, and Brandon's like, yeah, let's go follow him. Let's kill him. And he's like, whoa, slow down. Negan got completely unfiltered Negan and said, look, kid, you go back to Alexandria or go off whatever. He goes, his exact words, I don't give a shit as long as I don't have to see that pasty, creepy-ass face of yours ever again. Woo! I mean, the insult and how Brandon took it, big, big story news. All right, everybody. We are moving forward to that dark, desolate place we saw Alpha. Did you guys get goosebumps when they were skinning the person and Alpha says, careful now. Ears are the trickiest. Ooh! I mean, Alpha standing over watching, giving advice on how to take someone's face off, and she says, careful now, ears are the trickiest. Ooh, I mean, she is just getting more and more twisted. Like, her twisted nature is becoming more and more normal. That's what's scaring me. Emma did come back. She needs another guardian. And then Beta kind of looks unsure, and one of the whispers speaks up. Alpha says, patience. Shifts in strategy take time. So she's super cool, but one of the whispers speaks up and says, no, we could release an army of thousands on them. Big mistake. Beta's about to wreck the guy. The whisper speaks up to Alpha and says, instead of these nicks. Alpha says, anyone agree with him? They don't. So she nicks him a couple times and says, human body is fragile. All it takes is a few nicks in the right spot. This scene had so much beauty in how it was written. Let me kind of give you the overarching view of what happens. Gamma comes back because she needs a guardian. Because Alpha and Gamma have a strategy, and that's contaminating the water. A whisper speaks up and is impatient and wants to do it faster. Doesn't want these nicks. Alpha gives him a couple small nicks and cripples him to make her point in front of everybody. Beta kills him, and then Alpha says, you said you needed a guardian. And so this goes full circle. If you haven't seen it yet, or if you have seen it, please go back and watch this 2 minutes, because the way I love when they just kind of give a mini story and tell that mini story right away. Excellent, excellent work by the writers there. Good start, good closure, stick to the plan, everything worked out. We get some very good classic Negan here, and the Negan redemption tour continues. Negan and Milo. I thought this was very touching, that the kid is playing with an airplane, and Negan has the wherewithal to realize this kid doesn't know what an airplane is, and actually takes the time to explain it. Amazing, amazing story. We got a couple super chats in the house. We got Christmas Girl. They must have a separate water source. They could, or they boil the water, or some people just take shortcuts. Maybe Gage will go drink the water, Christmas Girl. That's the best we could hope for. But there is a bug out there, so I think that maybe Rosita might have. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Angelo says, can you shout out my girlfriend Carol? She's new to this. All right. Carol, Angelo's girlfriend, I will absolutely shout you out. Thanks for being here. Thanks to both of you for being here. Real quick, let me give you guys like a 10, 15-second commercial interruption. Hopefully you guys watched the ads at the beginning. But tell you a little bit about our schedule, and then I'll do the rest of the spoiler. So our week really starts on Sunday night. So Sunday night, we do the reaction video after The Walking Dead. Then on Monday, we do double shots at 7:30 at night, and at 9:30, we will talk about a Walking Dead topic at 7:30. We'll do a complete recap at 9:30. Then on Tuesday night, we'll do double shots as well, 7:30 and 9:30 again. Wednesday night, we got a schedule change because we found out the spoiler sites are starting to release their spoilers early. So we're going to do our bold predictions next Wednesday night. We're not going to wait till Thursday. That way they are predictions, and there's no information that's circulating and making its way around. Thursday night, we will do our spoiler stream, so we'll recap and see where we're at. And then Friday night, we do Freestyle Friday and our own game. You guys can see the sponsors up top right-hand corner. Play Dead Live. It puts you in the action. It's a little bit of D&D. It's a little bit of Walking Dead. It's a little bit of Warcraft. It's got this mix to it. And hopefully you guys... How many people were here for Play Dead Live last night and had a really good time? If you did, just speak up and chat. Those of you watching, do me a favor. Give this video a thumbs up so we don't wait till the very end. If you like what we're doing, if you like our schedule, you like hanging out with us every night, then certainly like this video. If you don't, dislike it. That's cool. Let us know what you think. We get 5 to 6 dislikes every video. It's okay. But we get a whole lot more people that are here that enjoy what we do, and that's really what we're here for, is for the Walking Dead fans. All right, so we get this great scene, and then now we got another great scene set up. Negan's like, don't worry, kid, I won't bite. I got some time to kill. And then he tells him, look, I'm not going to lie to you. I told that other guy, Brandon, to get lost. And what a great story. How many people enjoyed the story? Those of you who haven't watched it yet, you will enjoy it. But those of you that watched it, how many really, really liked the Negan story about the airplane, the nut slap? I mean, he gave him like the whole lecture of everything in life just in a couple minutes. Hey, this is what it feels like to be on an airplane. You're going to be up in the air. It's going to be like floating. You're going to see little houses. And then he starts telling him all these other things, like you got some big sausage hands and, you just slap somebody right there. It's like a game people play. I don't know. Maybe the girls do something different. Maybe they do like a chest slap or something. I don't know. Yeah, you have to watch it. It'll make sense. But Negan he's bonding with this boy, and he's taken like an immediate father figure. I mean, you can see this is truly what Negan missed. He missed that interaction, and I think he saw... Did you guys feel like he saw a little bit of Carl and Milo? Gushy, thank you so much for that super chat. Appreciate it. Yes, Johnny, it's called a nut tapper. You got to watch it. I felt like this was Negan and Carl, that Negan wanted to have a conversation, and he didn't see Milo. He saw Carl. This was his chance to bond again and to have those conversations that he never got to have with Carl. Very, very well done. Then I thought something that's interesting is even though Negan is leaving, he still has faith in the system. He says, there's a place, it's got big walls, it's got a mansion in the middle. Don't tell them about me, but they're going to take you in. And he says, as long as you keep those sausage slapping hands holstered and never tap my nuts, so it's good. And then he high fives the kid. So great scene. And you know what? This picture, that smile just really, really says, we got a Negan is trying to make a difference in the world. He's really, when people aren't watching, when he is at his character, he's not trying to rebuild. And let me get off on a little bit of a tangent, and I'll get back to the spoilers. There were many of you, I won't call out any individual names because we all miss our spoilers and our predictions sometimes. But there are many people in this stream that said the first chance Negan gets, he's going to recruit, he's going to rebuild a sanctuary, he's going to do all these things. What was so nice about the Brandon Rose story is I hate this word debunked, but it debunked all of that. That the writers actually said, you know what? To those of you holding on to that final thread that Negan's just waiting for another sanctuary, you know what we're going to do? We're going to give him a sanctuary and show you that he turns it down. So he turns down a yes man. He turns down a sanctuary. And he trades all of that in for this moment with this little kid that he sees as little mini Carl. If that's not closure and redemption, that signs, seals, and delivers the Negan redemption tour. 100% there. All right. More to come on that. Totally rehabilitated. Gamma is down by the creek again and having flashbacks, which shows she does not appear to be 100% on board with Alpha. I thought what was funny about her stabbing the knife and then seeing her sister and Alpha and Beta and all those things, we live through the PTSD of Sadiq and our characters. Guess what? Whisperers are suffering cuts to their hands and they need bandages, but they're also suffering emotional disturbance. We think that just because somebody becomes a whisperer that they're cured. Lydia is going to be going through that. Now Gamma is going through that. So both groups suffer from the exact same things. And I thought it was a great question last night when somebody asked, which community would you join? Every community has the same problems. And I got a little bit ahead of myself earlier. This is actually the scene where Aaron helps her with the bandages. Sorry. The first time he saw her, she kind of left to go get the guardian. This time is where she cut herself and Aaron gave her the bandage, says, take it, my name's Aaron. That's right, you guys don't do names. But you got to be from somewhere. I'm from Vermont. And then she runs away, says, you're welcome. Big question mark here. What in the heck is Aaron doing? Making friends with whisperers and helping them. Watching them and helping them. More to come on that shortly. Dog does find Kelly. Kelly is okay. Kelly tells Magna, tell them. Darryl lectures Magna on stealing. Connie says, we will tell them we found it. So Connie wants Darryl to lie to everybody. What are your thoughts with that? You guys think that's a good move? These guys made a mistake. They're hoarding stuff. They've stolen some stuff. Forgive them. Big problem. They're not changing their ways. They got their own agenda. We're going to be mixed on that. But we get some closure to that shortly as well. Negan goes to get firewood, and this is where it gets really, really dark. As Negan is coming back with the firewood, we hear Negan gets concerned. Now, I think what was good about this is Brandon played the whole I don't know the whistle, the dumb kid earlier. And then Negan comes back. Brandon says, I got the whistle down. Brandon has killed Milo and his mom and says, hey, I pieced it all together. When you said leave, it was a test. This is what Negan does. Here's the problem with that, everybody. First of all, Negan is irate. He was helping the kid. He picks up a rock, beats Brandon to death. How many people felt Negan was 100% justified in killing Brandon after he killed Milo and Milo's mom? That all that fury, everything was unleashed. Here's the problem. And it's a big problem. And I think it's going to be a problem for the future of the show. What's going to happen when someone looks for Negan and finds Brandon dead, Milo and his mom all dead, and no Negan to be found? So, the legend of Negan, in a weird sort of way, is what has caused Brandon to lose his mind because he's a fanboy. I'm not blaming Negan, but I'm saying that doesn't go away. And now, you've got evidence of Negan breaking out of prison and killing 3 people. Hey, I get it. I get that we see it, but guess who's not redeemed anymore? And this is the part that is going to be so tricky. Like, to the viewers, we're going to be frustrated because of all this stuff he's done to redeem himself. And now, it just got paused. It looks bad for him. So even if he kills Alpha, this still looks bad for him. Like, wait a minute. Well, you still got this to explain. Well, yeah, but this is what happened. Do you have any reason to believe him? Maybe we do, but the people in Alexandria don't. This is going to be a big problem going forward. I absolutely love this storyline because it is life. Didn't hide the bodies, just left the bodies there and walked away. And I think that's where now it's a nice opposite, because in the past, the characters were a little naive to Negan, and we were angry at him in the beginning, with the Glenn death. It's like, no, kill Negan. Now it's like the opposite. It's like the Alexandrians are probably going to be like, kill Negan, and we're going to be the ones like, no. Like, they're naive to Negan. I love how they flip-flop it, and it's a way the writers are kind of going to force us to rally around him, because now, as Billy Joel would say, I am an innocent man. He's an innocent man this time around. So the last two things he did, he's innocent of, but he's still getting blamed for it. Christmas Girl, Negan will need Yumiko to defend him. Oh, I love it. Ooh, what? You know what? I just got cold chills when you said that. I did not even think of that. Yumi's a freaking lawyer, everybody. She's talking about how she rallied around defending someone that's innocent. What a great story for the future. That Yumi might be the person that has to stick up. Imagine Maggie coming back. Oh, hold on. Bigger story. Maggie coming back, taking leadership away from Yumi at the Hilltop, and in one of her first roles is to execute Negan for all these deaths that he's done, and then Yumi has to defend him. Ooh, great story. Great story, everybody. All right, we got Daryl returning to Hilltop. More on that in a minute. But then the radio scene. Radio scene between Ezekiel and Carol. Well, Sadiq talks to Dante. We know that Sadiq's going back. There's some things going down. We find out what could be big news in the future. Dante casually says, Rosita, well, Sadiq asks, how's Rosita? And he says, she didn't want me to tell you, but she's got a little bit of a bug. I think that's big news. Contaminated water, keep that to the side, everybody. I think that's something for the future. But then Sadiq really wants Zeke to tell Carol. Dante gets Carol. He's sitting there. He wants to tell her. He hears her walk up to the radio, and then he freezes, turns the radio off. That's the moment where, as we said earlier, Zeke's actions are now going to speak louder than words. I don't think he's ever going to get a chance to tell her about his situation, but I think he's going to go out and do something to either help Negan, who could have his own rough situation with the Whisperers. We're going to break that down all throughout the week. So once again, this is spoiler stream. So we got a few predictions in here, but during the week, I think we got some good stuff to add to it. Beta runs into, Gamma does get bandaged. She runs into some walkers. Gamma looked like the Joker a little bit, didn't she, when she took off her mask? I mean, she's a little bit rugged right now. Beta tells her, put on her mask, slow your breathing, empty your mind, and Beta just walks by. So showing her how inexperienced she is. Like, you don't have to kill every Guardian. She was getting ready to kill a Guardian, and I think that's where her and Beta strongly disagree. So there's still some animosity there. Gamma's had some flashbacks. She's not fully on board. Beta's keeping an eye on her. Was Beta watching Aaron and Gamma interact? Just something to know. Did he just happen upon her, or was he following her? We don't know. We get the Yumi Magna story. We find out about Magna's cousin and Yumi. Once again, it is discussed that she was her lawyer. Gamma looks a little bit scared to sit down with Alpha because she's got the bandage. So Gamma Alpha have a meeting. She says, man with a metal arm. And Alpha's like, shh, sit. takes off her mask. Man with the metal arm could be useful. Might just have to wear a new mask. This is it can either be literal or figurative. A new mask could be you need to pretend like you're bonding with them, like you like them. Or I'm still saying it can be literal, that they could take someone's face that everybody recognizes. What do you guys think? Couple theories. We're going to talk about that during the week. Is the new strategy to allow Aaron and Gamma to get close? Or is it ultimately to get close enough and to shock the group? Might just have to wear a new mask. Mark those words down because there's a couple different directions that can go. Sherilyn Tuck says, I'm loving this episode. This episode was amazing. The last 3 have all been absolutely incredible. Felix, I agree. Aaron is an idiot. Or is he not? Because we get Gamma and Aaron reunion. The 3rd time. So here's the dialogue. Gamma comes back, gives back the bandages. Aaron says it was a gift. Gamma thanks him for it. Thank you. I also have some medicine for you. Aaron gives her medicine. Takes medicine from the Alexandrians, by the way, to give it to a whisperer. Aaron predicts she's from California. I can tell by your accent. Gamma says, I don't have an accent. Aaron says, exactly, California. All right. That's the spoiler part of this between the two. But you guys know me. I got to know what everybody thinks here. Is Aaron a sucker? And is Aaron falling for this? Or is Aaron trying to get more intel that he's going to use later on? Is Gamma playing alpha? Or is Gamma trying to get close enough to use some info for later on? This has so much confusion around it. If I ask this question right now, we're going to get 4 different answers. Like Marvelous One saying intel. Intel by who? It almost looks as if Aaron and Gamma are the same person. They're both a little bit uncomfortable with what's going on in their respective communities, but they're also a little bit curious about how to get in with the other community. Oh man, this has some depth to it, and I don't know. I don't want to take a stand because I have not seen anything definitive other than I may have a strong opinion and say, look, Aaron's an idiot, but then I could look at it and say, wait a minute. Aaron's not that dumb. Aaron is really doing something sneaky here to try to find a way. It could be Aaron's way of crossing the border without literally crossing the border. He's trying to find out because the group has not tried to find out much about them, but they have been finding out. So maybe Aaron is saying, look, it's time we understand these people. How can we fight them if we don't understand them? Think about that for a second. We got Christmas Girl. Aaron takes Gamma home. Gamma sees Lydia alive. That would certainly further. But Christmas Girl, here's the problem. Has Alpha not thought of this? Has Alpha not thought she did say, a change in strategy takes time. Why did she not say, oh heavens, what happens if she sees my poor Lydia? I mean, Alpha, where's the fear of what's going to happen when people start finding out that Lydia's in that community? So I'm not sure about that yet. But I'm also, based on the flashbacks, I'm a little confused or concerned that Gamma might not be 100% on board either. So anything at this point, I think, is just our own passion, our own predictions of what we want to happen. I would say we need a little bit more story to make a strong case one way or the other. But if I had to guess, I would say Aaron's not that stupid. Aaron knows what he's doing. Gamma is confused, but she's following Alpha's orders. Would you guys agree with that or disagree? Leave your thoughts in comments. Bamber Kitty, remember Aaron is a guy who recruits people. He might have a deeper plan with Gamma. Absolutely. And Bamber Kitty, that's what I think. I think Aaron doesn't want to go to the council because he knows this is going to be vetoed. So Aaron is like, you know what? Nobody's going to like this. This is risky. Let me just try to find out what I can find out. Based on this episode, that's kind of my best guess, but it certainly is open and vague enough that they could switch it up. That's why I don't want to say definitively this is the way it's going to go down. All right, so we get another little touching scene between Daryl and Connie. Connie says, thanks for lying for me. Daryl gives the symbol, we're family. Connie asks Daryl, are you and I family? Daryl gets a shy smirk and leaves. Leave your thoughts and comments. And I can't wait to do this in a reaction video tomorrow night where we literally have thousands of people that are going to be tuning into this because I want to ask this question to the group tomorrow, and I want you guys to think about it. Daryl and Connie are certainly happening, but I think Daryl's afraid to make a commitment to anyone because he's seen so many people die. And he knows that as soon as you fall in love, there's going to be a problem. You can't defend that person the same way. So he certainly, Connie's like, are you and me family? Great, great. Few words, but strong, strong impact. And then everybody, come on. Did they not save the best for the very last? And those of you who didn't watch the episode, this is the part I'm excited to tell you because we're almost an hour and I got to wrap this up. Negan, as he leaves Amelia, Milo, Brandon, he picks up his leather jacket, picks up his bat, crosses the barbed wire marked border. We know he goes into whisper territory, and he is just talking out loud like it is him versus everybody. Have you ever seen, like, you know that scene where you know the hero, Deadpool or Bruce Willis or somebody's going to walk in, they're going to be surrounded. Billy Jack, right? This is like Billy Jack. You know, I'm going to take my right foot and break your left jaw, and there's not a thing you can do about it. Negan became the Billy Jack of Walking Dead history. He walks across the border, and oh, what a great callback to this. Little pig, let me in. And then they start coming out. And there you are. I'm going to huff, I'm going to puff, and I'm going to blow, and he gets thrown down. Beta and Negan meet face to face, and we end the episode with, all right, you big ass freak, let's do this. So we get Negan and Beta. I don't think Negan has very much chance in this. He is crazy. He is exactly what got him here. Probably just crazy enough to know that they're not going to kill him. And I ultimately think Negan's going to have to play ball in some regard to get in with the group. Maybe survive in any way that he knows. So, hey everybody, I want to thank you all for being here on a Saturday morning. Once again, I will ask this question tomorrow night, so be ready. And many of you are going to watch it a third, fourth, or fifth time. What was your favorite part of last night's episode? Leave it in chat right now. Your absolute favorite part. I had so many. For me, I know some people like the action. I had two. I really liked the Negan and Milo story, the bonding scene. I thought it was great. It defined his character, gave redemption, and then set him on the next path. And I really, really love the Aaron and Gamma dynamic. And I know a lot of people say Negan and Beta, and I get it. I know we love that action and how it left it, but I really love the depth in the Aaron Gamma story because it adds on to everything wonderful they've done this season. I'm going to say it is the best episode so far. I know I don't know how many times I can keep saying this. It's like 3 weeks in a row. You know, one was good. 2, I thought 2, with the flashback with Beta and Alpha was great, but 3 was excellent. 4, I thought was better than 3, and 5, I think is the best I've seen in 2 years. Absolutely. Too many good scenes to pick one. So thanks, everybody. Hopefully you guys enjoy your Saturday. I've had a blast talking to you guys, giving the additional spoiler information. Hopefully you guys liked the walkthrough. If you did, give this video a thumbs up. Leave something nice in comments. We got Christmas Girl. Negan understands their mindset. He was a villain. And Christmas Girl, love that comment because, for a year and a half, we've been here talking about that Negan is going to have to draw back on his past experiences in order to survive the newest enemy. But don't discount Aaron. Aaron, how many people feel like Aaron might be learning some of this crazy stuff from Negan? That the time that Aaron has been with Negan, he's been observing him. He's been watching what he does, and Aaron could be taking that strategy to Gamma while Negan is using the same strategy with Beta. So just a little food for thought. We will be back here tomorrow night after The Walking Dead, and all next week. You guys are going to want to be in these streams because we are going to break this down and come up with some really, really strong predictions for the future. Once again, special shout out to my Patreon army in the top left-hand corner. If you guys are interested in becoming a Patreon, getting more information, more news, more pics, more behind-the-scenes stuff, more polls, there's a link down below. Also, there's the opportunity, if you're a Patreon, to upgrade to a PDL sponsorship in the top right-hand corner. 15 wonderful people that support this channel, not only from Freestyle Friday, but also our own little game that we play every Friday night. It is going to develop. It's going to grow. We'll get more and more people in there. So hang out with us on Friday night and check that out. Super Chatters, thank you so much. All the people that were super chatting, getting their thoughts and comments in here. And, of course, my Green Team. And Green Team, I promised you guys some brand new emojis. So by tomorrow night, we will have some more emojis. But just one more time, can you guys, I see the 999 logo. Can you guys flash the Emmy, Steph, Tommy, Kells as we switch over, give them one more shout out for the previous month of October. Thank you so much. And last but not least, each and every one of you, thanks for watching the videos. Thanks for being a part of it. And I'll see everybody on Sunday night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Peace.